living in darkness, look for the light, cause the fire is burning and they're helping you fight. It's the fire keepers, the fire keepers, fire keepers, fire keepers, fire keepers. Recovery, Bumper BG, talk recovery. Fire keepers, fire. Welcome to Firekeeper Recovery. I'm Brant Grant.
Bumper Smith.
And Tina George.
And as always, we'll do a quick check-in before we get started. How about you, Tina? How you been doing this week?
I've been good. I've been dealing with a little bit of sickness at home. Like, the baby's had a stomach bug and common colds, things like that.
Yeah. Well, at least that's not too major.
No, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we did deal with COVID there for a little bit. Like, we had, all three of us in the house had COVID for like a week. That was rough, especially the little one. But
Was it bad or was it just like a regular ride, the flu or whatever?
For us, it was kind of just like regular flu symptoms. And surprising, like me or the baby, neither one have had the shot.
Yeah.
So we were blessed that, you know, it wasn't as hardcore as it has been with other kids.
Yeah. So I'm hoping I got it. So quick for me, hopefully I got it because my brother and my mom got it. They had to quarantine, but we're in the same house. But I didn't get sick. So hopefully I had like the stuffiness.
Yeah.
But that was it. It wasn't major.
I had it a while back, and of course I got the 2 shots, but man, it kind of reminded me of like being an opioid withdrawal.
Yeah.
That shit freaked
The
me
body
out.
ache and stuff, that.
But knowing that it was, you know, from a bug instead of, you know,
Right.
it made it a lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, no, like a withdrawal.
Yeah.
It's going to be another couple days, or you can stop it now. With the withdrawals. I can stop it.
Yeah.
How about you, Zach? How about you since yesterday? You been doing anything?
Yeah, since yesterday. Same as always, man. Life is good, you know. Work's great. It's just, life is just fucking awesome, man. It's so good that at times during the day, you know, like these negative thoughts, like, you know, those catastrophizing type of thoughts, they'll try sneaking in. I'm like, no, that's bullshit. You know, everything is going good. Everything is all right. It's okay for me to feel at peace all the time because that's how my life is now.
Heck
So,
yeah.
That's awesome.
Heck yeah. Well, I'm going to finish checking in, I guess. It was all right. I'm doing all right. There's some family things going on that we can't control health-wise, so you just got to wait and see what happens. So just prayers up to Grandma. And, other than that, maintained, had a good day with my brother at court. But it's fun when you sit there and have to whisper. And the church pews, it's like back in church. It's like, keep wanting to cut up. Then you look it up and it's not a preacher, it's a judge.
yeah.
It's like, what's worse, hell or jail? Right now, jail, so I'm just sitting here and be quiet. Yeah, but hey, gotta keep some positive energy during troubling times. So yeah, man, we'll just keep it going. So yeah, Tina, the first question I like to ask is, what are some of the events that led to you getting into recovery?
First off, I think I was just to that point where I was tired. Just, you know, tired of like having to search for everything, you know, tired of being sick, just tired. But I guess the main driving force was I found out that I was pregnant. I knew that right then and there I needed to make some changes. And at first I felt lost. Like I had, I think I was telling Bumper before we got started, when I first found out I was pregnant, I was so far along that I had went to the ER and tried to do the detox thing to get into the program, and they turned me away. They told me I was too liability to do detox because my pregnancy was so far along. And that disheartened me big time. I think I went home for about a week, and at that time I was like, all right, then I'm going to do this on my own. You know, I started doing less drugs. decreasing doses, things like that. And then Caitlin showed up at my house, like out of the blue. I hadn't seen her in years. It was kind of like, what are you doing here? Yeah. But we got to talking, and I explained to her what had happened the week prior to that. And she was like, come in tomorrow and I'll make sure something happens. We will get something started for you. We will get you in the program, do what we need to do. And I was like, all right, and I was still kind of like hesitant about it. But I went in that next morning, and sure enough, she helped make something happen.
Oh, yeah.
And because of her doing that, it's kind of like put the fire in me. I went and done all my different trainings and things to get my peer support, and now I feel like it's my turn to get something back.
Right on. Yeah, that seems to be like a common theme in a lot of our stories. Is you reach a point where you're just sick and tired of all the bullshit of living as we did, and then when you find recovery, and then you want to help other people move out of active addiction and recovery as well, because it's so good.
Yeah.
It's really great. Recovery is awesome. Yeah. All right, so Brant passed me the questions. So, what are some of the things that were helpful to you in your early recovery?
Well, first off, with the program, on Alishki, they gave me the Medicaid side.
Yeah.
So of course that helped. The next would have to be that my family, my support circle wasn't very big when I got it back. And it started off really with like my mom, because, and if I hadn't been for the pregnancy, I probably wouldn't have even gotten that in the beginning, but that gave me the door to get my trust back.
Yeah.
So my support circle started small, but I had one. And then I started going back to church, so I got my church family back. Right. And my spirituality, my faith and stuff God has been my major driving force.
Right on. The higher power can certainly be a great advantage, when you're rediscovering who you are and what direction you want to go in life, especially moving out of active addiction into recovery. It's a powerful motivator.
Yeah, and it seemed like so many things were going on in my life that I had been, I guess you'd say, praying for.
Yeah.
And when things started changing and getting better for me, that's when I was really in belief that there really is a God.
Right. Things just seem to fall into place for you, and you start living in alignment with your higher power's will.
Right.
Stop fighting and stop just walking with it.
Yeah, but so that analogy of like, trying to swim against the current of a river, you have to just go with the current and use its power to take you where you need to go. What are some of the motivations you had, and how have they changed over time?
I guess maybe one of my motivations is, of course, my little boy. He keeps me motivated.
Yeah.
That's just a constant there, but motivations. Me, I had to do it for me, really, because if I can't do it, if I can't be all of me, who I need to be, then I can't be good for anybody. I can't help nobody. So
that's probably like the most important insight somebody can have early in the recovery, is that you have to do it for you. You have to put your recovery first, because without putting it first, everything else that you want, wouldn't be possible.
Right.
It's putting your recovery at first at all times that makes all these other things possible.
Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard at first.
Yeah.
But as you go along, it gets so much easier.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, as we heal ourselves, it's easier to love ourselves more.
Right. It's like you get to a point where like you're okay with saying no to the wrong things and saying yes to all the right things.
Right.
And believing that you deserve like the efforts of your or the rewards of your efforts. You know,
Exactly.
All the good that's coming your way, you worked for it, you deserve it. It's okay to have it.
Right.
Now, how important is community and family in your recovery?
It takes a tribe. It really does. You know, I was just thinking about that coming down the road over the last few days with all the sickness that's been going on in the house and whatnot. If it hadn't been for Tim, my baby's dad, and, you know, my mom and different family members helping out over the last few days, there ain't no way I could have done anything on my own. Like, you know, I'd be pulling my hair out.
Yeah.
So, but it really does take a tribe. Just like I mentioned, my church family, you know, a lot of prayers there, and just that love and community.
Yeah.
You know, it's extended family.
It's like not necessarily like a safety net, but kind of is, you know, because
Right.
whenever you need to reach out for help, you know it's there.
Yeah.
And you can trust it. How important or what has recovery helped you become more grateful for?
Being alive, you know, and being a better me than what I used to be. You know, I remember I'd always say back then, I'm better than this. You know, I'm better than this, better than this. And some days it just didn't seem like it, you know, I was getting any better. But now looking back, I see how much better I am than how I used to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm grateful for my life. I think back on all the crazy things that I've done, situations that I put myself in that I would never have put myself in, you know, being in a sober mind.
Right, yeah.
But I feel like God's gave me a second chance all around with different things. Small example, back in 2012, I had a son and he passed away from SIDS. He was about 4.5 months old. That's when my spiral went out of control and I had completely lost myself. I guess coming back around, I felt like I was in hell's basement.
Yeah.
And I began praying that God, just give me another chance. Help me be better, help me do better. I didn't want that life anymore. I feel like today's I was pleading, crying, you know, just begging to be better, to do better. And I couldn't figure out how. Didn't even know where to begin, what route to take, who to talk to. But I kept praying. And things slowly started getting better. Little situations in my life started taking turns. Like the relationship I was in then was such a bad relationship and so traumatic that they ended up going to prison. Little things started turning over. That was, I see now, looking back, God answering prayers. And then I wasn't fully out of addiction, but like I said, I was there in hell's basement, and I found out I was pregnant. And I didn't even think I could get pregnant anymore. I mean, I'm 40 years old. Wow. So at that moment, I promised God that if he would let me get sober and have this child, that I would raise the child in church, raise him to know Jesus and God, and I would be the best mom I possibly could be.
And here you are.
And here I am.
Right on.
Yeah.
That's a powerful story. Man.
Yeah, that's just hope.
Yeah.
You never lost it. Even though you might have.
There were days I felt like it.
Yeah, it was in the rear view mirror. But
Yeah.
you let it catch back in.
Yeah.
All right, so next question is, what events or programs are missing that you think would help people in early recovery or recovery in general now?
I feel like we could use more peer support. You know, peer support,
Always.
recovery coach, any of, you know, all around all of it. We really do. It's still stigmatized so much. And I get it. I get why it's stigmatized, but that's still somebody else's brother, sister, mother, daughter, you know.
Typically, that stigma comes from a lot of, pretty much comes from people without having that lived experience.
Right.
That don't know or understand, like, just what kind of a literal hell you're living in and living through, as far as your situation, negative beliefs about your own self.
Yeah.
I mean, it really feels like there's no way out, no escape.
And still, even now, as far into my recovery as I am, and my mom going through it with me, there are still things that she don't get.
Right.
But what it has been able to do is open her mind more.
Yeah.
To where now she's not so quick to pass judgment, but more to ask questions.
Yeah.
Which is all I could have ever asked for.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I think a lot of it, I don't want to say my parents failed me, because my parents gave me the best life possible, that they could give me. But something went off somewhere. I feel like with my generation, I don't know. It's like something went off somewhere. People became more selfish, more greedy, more, I don't know.
Dog eat dog.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can feel it too. But you can feel it kind of wanting to change back.
Yeah.
But it's a fight.
Right.
Everybody's like, no, I want it all.
There's a lot of generational curses. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, that's one thing I've noticed I've had to really deal, or I don't want to say fight, but
Break away from.
And then sometimes embrace, because our parents and our elders mean well, but times have changed too. You really got to be open-minded.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Do you have any coping skills that you can share that have helped you?
Coping skills for me is I like to get outside. I have an awesome corned bead patch that I've been working on this summer.
Yeah.
You should see. I've got it on my Facebook page, but it's enormous, and it's going to be. I'm going to get some money out of it.
That's pretty awesome. Yeah.
But every year I try to do something like that. I've done a garden one year, but this year with the corn beads, I'm doing that. And but being outside, exercise, try to get my little one out and play as much as possible, but exercise, and then prayer. I pray a lot. I do devotions, daily devotionals and things like that.
Awesome. Solid stuff.
Yeah,
Solid stuff.
As long as I've learned, as long as I have a routine, I'm good. Having a daily routine really does help.
Is there any other advice you would have for anybody that's maybe thinking about getting out of addiction and into recovery?
It's possible. It might seem hopeless right now, but I promise you it's possible.
Damn sure is.
Just don't give up.
Right.
The three of us prove it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's about all the questions we have. But is there anybody you want to shout out? Anybody you want to just say, what's up, thank you for helping you get here?
Shout out to Caitlin. She was a big driving force. The other girls at On Unleash Ski. You girls rock.
Shout out to church.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Toe String Baptist.
Heck yeah. All the way up on Toe Street.
Yeah, way up there.
Heck yeah.
Nice little community. Real loving people. Yeah.
Well, heck yeah. Well, I thank you for joining us this week and sharing your story.
I'm glad I got to come out.
Yeah, so we might have you back on again if you'd like to come on and talk some more.
Sounds good. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, with that being said, this has been Firekeeper Recovery. I've been Brant Grant.
Bumper Smith.
And Tina George.
And as always, we'll leave the light on for you.
And that's it.
Eastern Bay, Cherokee, Firekeeper, Recovery. We the Firekeepers, the Firekeepers, the Firekeepers, the Firekeepers. Yeah, coming to you live from the mountains of smoke. Firekeeper Recovery, bringing you hope. If you're living in darkness, look for the light, cause our fire is burning and they're helping you fight. It's the Firekeepers, the Firekeepers, 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 Recovery. Bumpin' BG, talk recovery.